Let's dive into Maggie's training so that we can stay consistent at home. So, whenever she's offering any behaviors that we want to keep on seeing, whether that's just being polite or following our commands, we want to make sure that we're rewarding her with praise, petting, or treats. That way, we can encourage these behaviors and we can see them more often. And then on the other side, if we ever see any behaviors that we don't want to see, that could be jumping on people or breaking any commands, we want to make sure that we're following through with our training equipment. That way, we can discourage those behaviors and we'll see less of them in the future. So this right here is her prong collar. This will be on her anytime that you have eyes on her. So if that's in the house while you're outside, and definitely if she has a leash on, this will be on her as well. That leash will attach to the swiveling D-ring at the top right here. And then to put the collar on and off, what you'll do is you'll secure the link next to that plate in the middle, slide those two loops up, squeeze, and wiggle them free. To put it back, what you'll do is you'll see those two loops, line those two up with those two prongs, and then wiggle them back through. How this works is it'll be on the highest point of her neck. And then say we're on a walk or just hanging out in the house and she's offering any unwanted behaviors, what we'll do is we'll mark that unwanted behavior by saying no, following through with a pop of that leash, and then continuing on. This right here is her remote collar. To turn it on and off, what you'll do is you'll line those two red dots up right there and touch them together. That green flashing light means that it is on. To turn on the remote, there's an on and off button on the back. You'll press and hold, that screen will turn blue with her working level. Right now her working level is 21. In the future, as she grows, you might need to adjust that just for her and how she feels. So how this works is very similar to that prong collar. So if she's offering that unwanted behavior, we'll mark that by saying no, press that black S button, and then continuing on. If she's in a command, we want to make sure that we put her back in that command that she's in and we try again until she gets it right. Alrighty, and then we are ready to go over her commands. So first we have our heel command. Heel is that nice loose leash walking position on our left-hand side. Whenever she is in this position, we want to make sure that we're reinforcing it with praise, petting, or treats. That way we can encourage her to stay in that position. If she is being funky and jumping at our hand, pulling ahead of us, or swerving off to the side, we want to make sure we're following through with our training equipment. That way we can discourage those behaviors. So with the remote collar, what we do is we would mark that incorrect behavior by saying no, following through with that black S button, and then reminding her heel as we continue on our walk. With the prong collar, very similar. What we do is we mark that incorrect behavior by saying no, follow through with a pop of that prong collar, reminding her heel as we continue on that walk. Usually during a walk, we only have her in that heel command 80 or 90% of the time. The other 10 or 20% will have her in free. And free just means that she's not in any set command. So that means she's able to go sniff, do her business, or go greet someone. Whenever she is in that free, we want to make sure that there's still no tight leash. So instead of her following us around, we're following her around. And then next we have sit. Sit automatically has an implied stay. So once we tell her sit, she's not allowed to get up until we tell her either free or heel. And then with this one, it's great for greeting people or door manners. So when we approach a person or a door, we can have her sit. And then we can either greet that person, open that door, or whatever we need to do. And then if she does get up from that sit, we need to go back and try again until she gets it right, following through with our training equipment if she does break it. And then once she gets it right, we continue on and we can tell her free or heel. Down is very similar. It also has that implied stay. So once we tell her down, she's not allowed to get up until we tell her free or heel. And with both of those commands, we want to make sure that we're not telling her free from a distance. So if we tell her sit or down and walk away from her, we want to make sure that we're going all the way back before we tell her free. Next, we have our place command. Place is a boundary stay. So when we're introducing this one at home at first, we want to make sure that we still have that leash on her. That way we can communicate effectively if something exciting does happen. So what we'll do is we'll approach that place bed, tell her place, and then once she's up there nice and comfy, we'll drop the leash and walk away. For this one, she's allowed to be in a sit, down, she can even stand up and turn around. As long as all 4 feet are on that place bed, she is all set. And then introducing things slowly with this one. So start by just creating distance, and then you can work up to distractions and even having her work up time too. But definitely, once again, having that leash on at home at first, that way we can address anything if we need to. Next, we have come when called. So for this one, what you'll want to do is you'll want to introduce this one on a long lead. So either a rope or the longest leash that you can find. What you'll do is you'll create some distance. For this, you can either use a toy or a person to help distract her. So you'll create some distance. It can be a big distance or it can just be a little bit. What you'll do is you'll create that distance and then you'll tell her, come. And then once she comes all the way into our space and sits, that's when we'll reward her. For this one, I've introduced a hand target with her since she does have a lot of speed when she's coming into us. What I do is I put my hand down to the side, That way she can touch our hand instead of jumping up on us. And then once again, once she's in that sit, reward. For this one, anytime that she comes back to us, we want to reward. That way we can increase that reward history and she'll come back to us more often. So even if she runs off to the side and gets distracted for a second, comes back to us, we want to make sure that we're rewarding her. And then say she's all the way out there and we called her to us. She did not come back at all. What we want to do is we can reel her in like a fish with that leash. Once she's back in our space, once again, making sure that we're rewarding her. That way we can build up that reward history. And then last, we have leave it. So when we're practicing this one at first, what we want to do is practice with either a treat or a dog-safe toy. And we'll toss it away from her, tell her nice and loudly, leave it, and wait for her to get into either a sit or a down. Once she is in one of those positions, we can reward her from our hand and then tell her free. If it's something that we don't want her to have, we can tell her leave it, go pick it up, and then tell her free. For this one, definitely making sure that we practice it with a leash on at first. That way we have easier access if we do need to communicate with her. And then that is all of her commands, and we are ready to go watch her perform in public. Heel. Sit. Sit. Good sit. Sit. Heel. Sit. Down. Get down. 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 Get down. Down. Good down. Down. Free. Let's go over the functions of Maggie's remote color. So to turn the color itself on and off, what you'll do is you'll line those two red dots up and touch them together. When it flashes red, that means it's off. If it flashes green, that means it is on. To turn the remote on and off, what you'll do is there's that L button on the back. To turn it off, you'll press and hold. That screen will light up and then turn off. To turn it back on, press and hold again. That screen will light up blue with her working level on it. Right now she's on level 21. In the future, you might need to adjust it based off of how she reacts and what she needs. To adjust it, what you'll do is you will press and hold that dial at the top, and then you can twist to adjust that level. And then to lock it back into place, you'll just press and hold that dial again. On the side of the remote, you'll see that black T button. This is just the vibrate setting. So I usually use this one to test if the remote collar itself is on. So you can press it and it'll vibrate that collar. On the other side, you'll see the black S button and the red S button. The black S button is going to be her normal button. So if you need to communicate with her if she's offering those unwanted behaviors, what you'll do is you'll say no and then follow through by pressing that black S button. Say she might be in a dangerous situation, running to a road or anything like that, and her adrenaline might be a little bit higher. If she's not reacting to that black S button, what you can do is you can use that red S button. It's for emergencies only. As you can see, her working level is on 21. If I were to press that red S button, it'll jump up 25 levels from there. So that button's for emergencies only. On the back, you can see the charging port right here at the bottom. And then right here, you'll have that L button, which also functions as the on and off button. If you were to just press it instead of pressing and holding, you can see that it turns on a flashlight feature. So just press it once, it'll make it flash. Twice, or it has that light constantly. Third time, we'll turn it off. Next to that button, you'll see M/C. That just stands for momentary and continuous. Now that she's further along in her training, we have her on momentary. So instead of just a constant stimulus, it's just one and then it's done. When we introduce the collar, we introduce it on a really low level with the continuous vibration setting. That way we can introduce it in a positive way. But once again, now that she's further in that training, the one and done is perfect for her. And all it does is it stimulates muscles in her neck. So similar to how athletes use TENS systems to recover, it's the same kind of system in the collar itself. And then it does have a 2-year warranty. So if you run into any issues, it is covered underneath that warranty. And then it is waterproof as well. So if she's swimming and gets wet or anything like that, it should be totally fine. I would just definitely recommend rotating where the collar is on her neck. That way she's not getting irritated. And then this collar needs to be on her anytime that you have eyes on her. So if you're home and she is as well, definitely have it on her. At night, take it off, but as soon as you wake up, put it on. Before bed, take it off. Usually it stays charged for 12 to 14 hour days if you have it on her for that full time. So if you have it on her for 12 or 14 hours a day, charge it every other day and you should be totally set. Other than that, you guys are all set to have fun and stay consistent.